All right, guys, so I had pushed something out yesterday that is somewhat controversial. I had the audacity to say, if you cannot sprint, you're just not healthy. And you know, some people get it. Some people were quite maybe a little bit annoyed by that statement, saying things like, well, you know, I'm old, or, you know, maybe I have an injury, maybe I have a chronic injury, maybe I have a joint replacement or something like that. And, you know, I get that. Certainly you're limited. You cannot sprint, or maybe it's very, very difficult or challenging to you. But I would say by definition, your health is compromised. You know, if you have an artificial knee, or you know, spine problems or something along that, yes, your health is compromised. You are not 100% healthy. Now, that's not a bad thing. It's not a judgment in any way. When we think about, as young children, we can all sprint, with rare exceptions. All of us could run around and sprint. And the younger we are, the farther we are from basically dropping dead, right? And people that maintain those youthful capacities are less likely to drop dead in the near future. Even when you see these masters athletes, 90, 100 years old, you know, sprinting down the track, and they're not really sprinting. They're moving relatively quickly, but they're not really truly sprinting. And guess what? These 90 and 100 years old people that manage to do this are going to die soon, most likely. It's not a slight against that. And I'm not saying, you know, you're going to live forever if you can sprint, but I'm just saying that the things that we can do as a complete human being, right, involve a wide range of physical tasks, and sprinting is one of them for sure. If you are completely healthy, you should be able to sprint. Now, I will say that fully as a nearly 60-year-old man who cannot sprint today. I pulled my hamstring a couple days ago, last week. I can't sprint right now, so my health is somewhat compromised. And now I'm going to get over that, and I'll be able to hopefully regain that capacity. And you can mimic a lot of things that sprints provide. A lot of the benefits that sprints give you, the intense level of cardiovascular, cardiorespiratory stress that it puts on the body, you can mimic with bicycle sprints and things like a rowing machine, which I've done all of those things. You know, it doesn't quite provide the lower body collisions, the ground contact that then causes the adaptations to occur in your lower extremities. Now, you can kind of approach that with some plyometrics, you know, hopping, jumping, things like that. But sprinting itself is incredibly stressful to our chassis, to our body, and the ability to be able to withstand that requires tissue integrity. It requires obviously adequate strength. It requires decent body composition. It requires, you know, good cardiorespiratory fitness. And what do I mean by sprint? Let's just arbitrarily say 100 meters, minimum 20 seconds, male or female. All of us should be able to do that, right? Now, most of us can't, particularly over a certain age. Now, most of us that can't do that, it's because of something that's modifiable that we do have control over. We can generally improve our body composition. We can generally get stronger. We can generally decrease inflammation in our joints through diet, lifestyle, and so on and so forth. So again, while I get it, there are some people that will never sprint again. Maybe they don't have any legs, you know. I mean, I get it, but you are still compromised in your human existence. It's not a bad thing. It's not a judgment issue. It's not that you can't get healthy and be as healthy as you possibly can be, but to say that you are as a young kid, I would use a young 15, 20-year-old kid as sort of the pinnacle of health in the human species for the most part. Now, there are exceptions. There are kids that are in absolute awful shape, right? But you think about, what do we associate, you know, full capacity as a human being? And we see that in our youth. And so we want to hang on to as many things as possible that we can do. And the more you can do, the broader your range of activities, the longer you're likely to live. Now, again, there's no definite here. I mean, you can always get hit by a bus or some disease or something like that. And the narrower that range gets, to where the point where all of a sudden it's just get out of bed, walk to the bathroom, walk to the fridge, you know, and eventually all you can do is lay in bed and then you die. So we want to make that spectrum of what our capacities are as much as possible. Now, again, there are some conditions where you'll never be able to sprint again. Like I said, you're missing legs or something like that. Your knee is fused or something along those lines. But if those aren't the case, then you should endeavor to get to the location where you're sprint. We all, you know, a lot of us that follow what I do, they're trying to get healthy. I want to optimize this blood marker or that. Optimize your capacity, guys. This is what it's really about. You know, you can take supplements to move your vitamin D levels around and all that. That's all kind of like, you know, it's like minor stuff. The real stuff is, what can you do as a human being? All right, let me know if you Agree, disagree, whatever. What are your thoughts on, have you tried sprinting? And again, it takes time. This is not something, particularly if you haven't done it in a long time. If you're old like me, you got to build the capacity. And there's a lot of things that go into that, but it's doable, and it's probably a worthy goal. All right, guys, y'all take care.